Hello and welcome to Crystaline Conflict, the newest PvP mode to be added to Final Fantasy XIV Online. What I have behind me is the footage from Yoshi P and the dev team actually playing this in the final live letter before patch 6.1 when Crystaline Conflict replaces Feast. You'll notice at the beginning that it actually opens up by showing us the new portrait mode. Very cool. You'll get to customize how yours looks like. This will be 5v5 conflict that will replace Feast in its entirety. It's going away. We'll have three modes: casual, which most of us will do, ranked, which is exactly what it sounds like, and custom, which will be just the ability to do it against friends for no rewards. Basically, this 5v5 conflict is going to be a reverse tug-of-war payload style game similar to Overwatch and others. Any of you that play PvP style games will be familiar with it. Their frame rate was a little all over the place, so that is what we're going to watch it in. And what is going to happen is we have this lovely little S mode here, this little S map, and that allows for shortcuts that make you run a little faster, as Yoshi P is now. And the goal is to push that center objective to the enemy objective. You have 5 minutes, at the end of which we will enter a sudden death mode, so these matches will be fast. Every time you die, your respawn timer will increase. It only takes one person in there to move it. Having more people doesn't make it move faster, and it only takes one person from each team to contest it. So as everybody runs around all chaos in there, it just stops. You'll notice as it moves closer to the Umbra or Astra home point, it actually shows a progress bar being updated, and that is actually going to stay to denote the maximum distance you've ever been, not the current distance. So right now it happens to be at its maximum, but if you get pushed back, it will actually be the furthest you've been, and that's important for helping determine who wins in sudden death. When it gets to these checkpoints halfway through each side, it will pause there and have to fill a percentage to move on to keep one team from just steamrolling while there are deaths. And so, as you see here, the comps are kind of weird. One team has a healer and the other team does not. The PvP actions have been adjusted across the board, most notably to help move classes to having more self-sustain, moving healers to where they are not exclusively healers, making them the green DPS. We argue whether or not they should be in PvE. And so the class balances expect to change not only over patch 6.1, but into patch 6.2 as well. So as they push this back the other way, you do see that progress bar stays right where it is to show which team has made it the furthest, very clear right now. And at the end of this, there will be a sudden death mode where nobody gets respawns, and after one team is fully wiped, what is ultimately going to determine it is many times the team that's been able to make it the furthest. If they've been steamrolling all match, don't be shocked that they win because they've been going the furthest. Now, this will be contributing towards what is called Series Experience, which will be an ongoing Battle Pass system that you get credit for from all PvP modes. If you're in Ranked, this will also be contributing to your Season rank. Seasons look like they're going to last about 3 months long. Series are going to last a full patch cycle, which is 4 months. Remember that we're going to add 1 week in the fall or in the winter and in the summer, so keep that in mind as we look at the distance between patch 6.1 and 6.2. And this should be something that gets an immense amount of interest early on. So for those of you that want to take place in the Garo event and get those rewards or finish getting rewards maybe you missed back in the day, it's been 5 years. So a lot of people either are missing some or have never gotten to take part. And so this is going to be something that I assume, like a Relic, will get a lot of interest up front. And then depending on how much people like it, that will determine the long-term interest in this game mode. So as you see this team pushing back the other way, you can actually see that it didn't take that many people to push, so it will be a very fast-moving conflict. I will not be surprised at all if the different maps feel very different from each other as we get to know the game mode more. There will be 3 upon release. More on the way is the theory that they've kind of hinted at. One of the maps will be pretty straightforward, just the base game mode. I believe this to be that map, and then there will be 2 other maps that have like an added mechanic that will change the way the players interact with the map, and therefore the way that it plays out. Now, because they allowed this to not go all the way to Astra's home point, which I believe was by design, he thanked the devs for allowing that to be shown, we are now in overtime. So now you're seeing as that team gets wiped, they get all the way, and then naturally the team that made it the furthest was also the team that won combat, and so Yoshi P's team does lose. I hope you guys enjoy Crystaline Conflict. I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic addition to the game, and it should be something that is just an additional way to play. It's not replacing main story, it's not competing with main story, it's an additional way to play, and I hope you enjoy it for whatever it means to be to you.